In this video, I want to talk about my most used bracket shortcut, the Quick Open shortcut. Quick Open lets you open a file without needing to navigate through the folders in your project. In big projects with lots of files, this tool is really helpful. The shortcut is Ctrl+Shift+O. You can find it under the Navigate menu if you forget, but I recommend that you remember this one before all others. The Quick Open uses a very smart search algorithm that allows you to open the file without needing to type the full file name or the directory it's in. I have a small project open that has many subfolders and multiple files located in different places with the same file name. If I want to find one of the list view files, I don't need to type the full name to find it. I can type as little as LI to bring up all the list view files. I'm also getting list controller files mixed in. The loading files are showing up in the list also because they have an L and an I in their file name. However, it puts the files with list at the top since L and I are together. Lower in the list, you can see the index.html file, which has an L followed by an I only if you include the directory name. So that's given a lower priority. So your file name has precedence over the directory name, and letters next to each other have precedence over those that are separated. It's a little hard to see, but it's bolding the matched letters in both the file and path names, so you can look at that to see how the search is working. If I simply add a V to my string, it narrows it down more, and the controller files are no longer in the list. I can get the file I want quickly just by using my arrow keys to select it and hitting return. You can see that when I arrow down through the list, the selected file is shown in light blue. If I hit return, that file will get opened. If I don't select a file, the one at the top gets opened. If I know the subdirectory of the file I want, and I know that there are lots of files with the same name, it's smart to type a few letters from the subdirectory name before I type LIV. If I want the file from the rentals module, for example, I can type RELIV to put it at the top. Notice how in the working files, when I have multiple files of the same name open, it adds the directory name to the listing. If I only have one open, it won't show that directory name anymore. However, I can look at the title bar and it shows me the full path. Sometimes I want to get to the folder where the file is located. If you right-click on the file name, you can see the context menu, which allows you to either show in Explorer or you can show in File Tree. This is very handy when you're working on a module of related files and want to see all the parts of the code in a subdirectory. So between using the Quick Open shortcut and Show in File Tree, you can really avoid navigating the folder structure and clicking on these triangles, which can be tedious, especially if you have deeply nested folders. Notice the other shortcuts in the context menu. If you remember that Ctrl+W is how you close a file and Ctrl+S is how you save a file, you can avoid the mouse altogether. Both of those shortcuts are pretty standard in most applications, so they're hopefully easy for you to remember. I also want to point out that Quick Open even works with images. You're obviously not editing an image and opening it in the strict sense of the word open, but it does take you right to the image preview. There is an article on the Brackets blog about the logic that was used to develop this Quick Open functionality and search. If you want to understand more deeply how it works, I recommend reading that article. I have it linked in the notes. My best tip on this tool is to try to open things with as few characters as possible, but typing enough so that you don't have to arrow through the list. The more you use Quick Open, the more intuitive it becomes, and you'll find yourself getting around your project quickly. When working on a small project with fewer files, you might not see the real beauty of this tool. However, I recommend trying it out anyway to get in the habit of opening your files this way. When you're working on something with many files, it becomes extremely helpful.